14, Elkins 28, Wheeling 13. Now we do it for the 74th time.
Since 1964, and look at that crowd go on the floor. Parker still looking. Gives it to Setbacher for the win. It's good. North Marion wins the championship.
You've got to be coming back to the ball. Points are not the issue. Time is.
Jackson fires from 15 on the move. Hits it. 4 seconds to go. Long pass down to Ferguson. He lays it up, and it goes in at the buzzer. It's a tie ball game.
Jason Williams for Randy Moss.
And Ravenswood says, you know what? This might be our day.
Macy coming down. Macy to 15. Macy fires. Macy hits. Rejected off the glass by Craig. Jim Lilly, the head coach of Oak Hill, goes out. A state championship winner.
Metro News Sports, in conjunction with Suddenlink, present the 100th anniversary of the State Boys High School Basketball Tournament and the AAA Championship game between Beckley, Woodrow, Wilson, and Martinsburg. Hi, everybody. Along with Fred Persinger, I'm Hoppy Kercheval, and we're glad you're with us for this AAA title game. And Fred, in celebrating 100 years of high school basketball tournament action, what better way than to do it with a game between these two established programs, Martinsburg and Beckley?
Combined, they have 88 state tournament appearances. Think about that, 88 state tournament appearances. Beckley's here for the 57th time, Martinsburg for the 31st time. This promises to be great, number one against number two again when you start looking at the seedings.
Key players to follow in this ball game. Let's start with Beckley. Drew Johnson, quarterback on the football team, and in many ways the quarterback of this basketball team.
No question about it. 6'1" on a senior, the only senior on the team. Quarterfinals had 20 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. In the semifinals, he had 14 points, 8 rebounds, but 9 assists. So he does it all for Ron Kidd's ball club.
Martinsburg, meanwhile, has a D1 recruit, Dante Grantham, and he has skills, Fred.
He has skills, and then he has skills. 16 points, 13 rebounds in the quarterfinals. Semifinals, 18 points, 9 rebounds, and he is the vocal leader on the floor for Dave Rogers' ball club.
Going to be a fun ball game. A lot of up and down action. Martinsburg and Beckley in the AAA championship. We'll be right back.
VR powered by the new TiVo Mini. It lets him easily record, watch, and pause TV. Then resume watching in another room without missing a beat. Or his favorite shows. Sign up for Suddenlink AnyRoom DVR today.
Remember when a trip to the bank meant getting a lollipop reward just because you walked in with Mom?
At MVB Bank, we want you to feel that stress-free again. We're dedicated to making your life easier with the latest technologies, and our MVB Bank professionals value your trust. So step out of the banking world as you know it and discover convenient, peace-of-mind banking and a rewarding visit every time. MVB Bank, your most valuable bank. Member FDIC.
Back here at the Charleston Civic Center, preparing for our AAA championship game between Martinsburg and Beckley Woodrow Wilson. The third member of our broadcast crew is Speedy Bevins. Speedy?
Hoppy Dave Rogers says this senior class is one of the most enjoyable groups that he's ever coached. At a film session this afternoon, he told them, this is your night. You're about to experience something that very few high school basketball players ever get to. Beckley coach Ron Kidd says it's important to try to block out the distractions. Have fun. It's important to play relaxed. And he told me he's going to tell his team, remember, this is just another game. And then he smiled and said, somehow, I don't think they're going to believe that one. Hoppy?
Thanks, Speedy. Yeah, that's a tough sell. The starting lineups are presented by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal, committed to clean energy and a better quality of life for all West Virginians. And those starting lineups, Speedy talked about it, Fred, for Martinsburg, all seniors. Beckley, just one senior, Drew Johnson.
And the real key matchup tonight, and talking with head coach Ron Kidd on Dante Grantham, he's going to put Chase Hancock. Now, Chase Hancock got in foul trouble last night. Ron Kidd,
the head coach of Beckley Woodrow Wilson in his 13th year. And for Martinsburg, Dave Rogers, add them up, 36 years, over 600 wins.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll look at that. For this AAA title game, Martinsburg is the top seed in the home whites. Beckley, the visiting dark maroon jerseys. Fred Persinger, what do we watch for early in this AAA title game?
I think we've already mentioned it, that key matchup between Chase Hancock and Dante Grantham. Dante Grantham's big kid. You know he plays inside some, but he also likes to play outside. You take Chase Hancock away from the basket, Beckley's rebounding power diminishes greatly.
Cole for three. Beckley rebounds the basketball. Just underway in the AAA title game. Driving in. Hancock's shot is no good. Rebound fought for, taken by Cole.
Denzel Cole, very, very good player for head coach Dave Rogers' ball club. Really, really a great floor general out there.
Galen Lewis with the basketball, looking inside. They try to get it into Grantham. Grantham can play outside or inside. Long one by Lewis. Nuke. Rebound by Grantham. Putback is no good. And again, it's Beckley's basketball. Drew Johnson.
The young man that grabbed the rebound is going to be fun to watch. Naquan Carrington. Naquan Carrington is only a 9th grader, 15 years old, 6'3" already.
Chase Hancock gets it inside the Neighbors. Ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Martinsburg. One thing you will notice in this game, the speed of both of these teams. At times, it's absolutely frenetic.
Yet it's controlled speed.
Most of the time. Sometimes it feels like it's a little out of control. I think Beckley likes it like that sometimes, Fred, when it just seems like it's about ready to go over the edge.
On the edge, that's when Beckley's at their best.
Still no score in this ball game. Martinsburg with the basketball. There'll be a new champion this year. Hedgesville, defending champion, did not make it back to Charleston. On the putback, Lewis is fouled.
Look at Carrington for reaching in over the top. Naquan Carrington got behind, and once he gets the advantage on him, then there's the easy foul.
Jordan Robinson at the free throw line, 6'4" senior, 80% free throw shooter. There's the first point in the ballgame.
I would have thought the first point in this game would have been at the free throw line. With 6:37 remaining.
The putback by Eugene German. Eugene German snuck in there and got the easy 2-3-0 Bulldogs. Where was the block out?
Well, when you're that big, you don't sneak anywhere, so Beckley just went to sleep.
Hancock drives in, cut off. Well, got away from Carrington, but he retains possession and goes up with the left hand. Naquan Carrington, it almost got away from him. He regained control of it and gets the first two for the Eagles.
A lot more basketball experience than he does in high school, that's for sure.
Lewis, short, over the back. Robinson up and in. Jordan Robinson.
Great leaper that time. Great vertical leap, but Jordan Robinson to grab that rebound.
3 points for Jordan Robinson, 5-2 Bulldogs. The other way, Eagles lose the basketball. Here comes Dante Grantham. Handles the ball excellently for a guy who's 6'7". Baseline, no good by Lewis. Like we told you, the pace is going to be absolutely wild at times. Foul against Martinsburg.
Block's going to be called on Martinsburg, and they're going to get it on Jordan Robinson that time.
Robinson's first team foul, number 1 against the Bulldogs. Not a shooting situation. Hancock to Osborne for 3. It's good. Brent Osborne, the 6'3" sophomore, nails the 3. 5 all.
That's the most points Brent Osborne's had in a game in this tournament. He had 2 in the first and 2 in the semifinal.
Robinson back to Cole. Cole. Back for the Eugene German there again with position and 2 buckets for German.
Well, Ronnie Kidd's going to call a timeout, at least to the media timeout, and say, hey, someone has to find that big kid German, put a body on him.
Well, that might be easier said than done. He's a big fellow.
Dante Grantham just picked up personal number 1. Brent Osborne, the sophomore, tried to step through the double team, and the foul called on Dante Grantham.
His first team foul, number 2. Osborne will throw it in for the Flying Eagles. Flying Eagles, Fred, have won 19 in a row after starting 4-4. What was the story with the start of the year?
Something that no one can explain, believe me, including head coach Ron Kidd. He told me quite simply they went into a funk. And they lost to some teams that, honestly, he didn't think they could lose to. But once it started snowballing downhill, it gathered a little steam. They lost 3 games at home at the Beckley Raleigh County Convention Center. And Beckley, that's the first time in the history of the program they ever lost 3 games at home.
That in and of itself is not that they lost 3 in a row, but the fact that they had never lost 3 in a row before. That's what's amazing. But after that, they got it together and they haven't lost in a couple of months.
According to Ronnie Kidd, it's just the hard work of all of the coaches, all of the players, everyone on the program.
Cole's shot bounces out of bounds, and it stays with Martinsburg. There's Ron Kidd. You know, he's been around a long time now. He's a vet, 13 years, but he had to take over for Dave Barksdale 13 years ago. That was not easy, taking over for a legend.
No, that's impossible. But he has done it. He's got his own 2 state championships, looking for a 3rd tonight.
Drew Johnson picks up the dribble, gets it into Osborne. Dante Neighbors throws it away. Here comes Jordan Robinson. Jordan Robinson loses it out of bounds. Last touched by Beckley. We'll take a timeout and catch our breath. The Bulldogs with a 2-point lead over the Eagles.
Some people say union construction workers have an attitude. And you know, they're right. My attitude is safety. I'm drug-free. I don't do them, and I don't work with guys who do. Yeah, we get screened all the time, but I'm drug-free and my coworkers are too, because we depend on each other to work safe and do the best job possible. So yeah, union construction workers got attitude, the right attitude, for a safe, productive workforce.
Strong spiritual growth, nurturing environment, fully accredited schools, focus on emerging technology. More than $21 million in scholarships offered to the class of 2012. Living the gospel values. Competitive curriculum and character-building activities create a premier education for all children in a uniquely Catholic environment. The Catholic schools of the Diocese of Wheeling-Charleston since 1838.
The Martinsburg Bulldogs have the early lead, and Eugene German has 4 points.
He has been a man among boys on the on the basketball court. Again, he didn't sneak in on anyone. He can't do that, but he just gets great position, takes the ball up. He is signed to play football at UNC Charlotte. I think he'll be a pretty good football player.
Oh, my. The entry pass to Grantham, and Grantham gets the 2. 9-5 Bulldogs.
I think he'll be a pretty good basketball player.
A lot of schools after him, Fred, including WVU. Baseline Osborne, 10-footer. Up high for the rebound, and they will get Lewis over the back. Jalen Lewis did not have position. Ended up on the back of a Beckley player. Picks up the foul. Actually, I had that on Lewis.
Got the blocking foul on Beckley is what they got.
Lewis with the basketball to Grantham. Grantham off the dribble. Rebound taken by Neighbors. Martinsburg back on defense. Neighbors will launch from 3. Rebound Lewis.
Interesting what Dave Rogers has done. We'll follow that in a second.
Lewis gets it over to German, and German is off to a fast start. He's not the guy you think about offensively, but he's got 6 points, and the Bulldogs are up by 6.
Dave Rogers defensively has got Dante Grantham playing out on those shooters, whether it's Dante Neighbors, whether it's Brent Osborne in the corner, whoever it is. Dave Rogers has decided, I'm going to put my big kid out there, and if you can shoot over him, go for it.
Martinsburg 11, Beckley, Woodrow, Wilson 5. 2:36 left to go in the first quarter of the AAA championship game here at the Charleston Civic Center. Grantham pushes over Neighbors. And Beckley will be called for the foul. No, that's the foul's going to be on Chase Hancock.
And that's what we mentioned in our pregame. Can Chase Hancock stay with Dante Grantham without fouling? Well, that's 2 in this first quarter.
And Hancock and Grantham are in a little bit of a hand checking there.
Yeah, Hancock had a hold of Grantham's jersey before he ever started the drive.
Now Carrington is in on Grantham. Day Fortune's also checked into the game for Beckley. No, Grantham he's a matchup problem because he can play outside and inside at 6'7".
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, he can shoot outside as well as he does inside. So you've got to cover him when he gets out there.
Robinson off the back of the rim. Here comes Dante Neighbors. Neighbors with the defenders and scores.
He is a real key for Beckley's Ron Kidd. Dante Neighbors has to have a good game. Leading scorer on the ball club. Did not have a good quarterfinal round game. Had a great game in the semifinals. Dante Neighbors had 14 points. Had a great game.
Lewis. Dylan Lewis, 6'2" senior guard. Surveys the defense. Denzel Cole thought about it. Back to Lewis. Lewis will try from 3. Off the mark. Rebound taken by Grantham, sailing underneath the basket. Now Cole for 3. It's good. 14-7 Martinsburg. What are you seeing in this game?
Well, right now, Martinsburg certainly has saved their best game of this tournament for championship Saturday night. Interesting, Dave Rogers brought his ball club to Charleston way back on Tuesday. In fact, they were at that banquet that we had. He and his entire team was there. The only coach that brought his team in. So he's been in the capital city for a long time. Beckley, they played on Wednesday morning, went home, did not come back till Friday afternoon when they played Friday night in the semifinals. They did stay in the capital city last night.
Schools have very different thoughts about that. Coaches do. Get to your own bed if you can. No, have the experience. Johnson kicks it out. Neighbors check defensively. Will launch from 3, though. Short. Good defense by the Dogs.
And not a good decision by Dante Neighbors, because he never was in position to take that shot that he likes to take.
Elijah Freeman there with the ball. He's checked into the ball game. 35 seconds to go in the quarter.
Another thing we're going to have to see, can Ron Kidd get this game into the rhythm and the speed that he likes? Right now, this is not the way Beckley likes to play this half-court basketball.
Well, Denzel Cole has the tempo he likes. He just knocks down another one. It's 17-7, 10-point lead for the Bulldogs.
Great pass from Andrew Johnson that time to Dante Neighbors, cutting in from the right side. Neighbors went up with the shot, was fouled, will be at the line for two. Whistle on Denzel Cole.
Cole gets his first, team foul number 4. Dante Neighbors, 5'10", junior guard. Makes the first. Might recognize the name if you know Beckley basketball. Son of Gene Neighbors. Played on that 92 championship team. And Gene Neighbors now an assistant coach on the Beckley team.
The nephew of another assistant coach, and Brian Neighbors.
17-9 Bulldogs. 7 seconds left in the quarter. Stepped on the line.
Certainly not the way you want to end the quarter if you're Dave Rogers on a turnover.
Long one by Johnson. Off. So the teams will reset here after quarter number 1. And it's the Martinsburg Bulldogs. So far led by Eugene German, who has 3 buckets, 6 points. And they have a 17-9 lead over Beckley, heading into the second quarter of the AAA title game.
Ever since I was young, I have lived and breathed art. But I didn't know how to turn that passion into a career. At West Liberty University, I found professors who were as passionate as I, and it gave me the tools to succeed. Having been featured in several national publications, my passion is now my career, and it all started here. My name is Jesse Lenz, and I am an artist. West Liberty University, welcome to your future.
This exclusive presentation of the 2013 West Virginia High School Basketball Championships is presented by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal, committed to clean energy and a better quality of life for all West Virginians. By Suddenlink Communications, it's as easy as counting to 1. For details, log on to suddenlink.com. By MVB Bank, your most valuable bank. By the Department of Transportation Governor's Highway Safety Program. And by Marshall University Technology Outreach Center. Earn college credit online while still in high school. And Metro News Sports, proud broadcaster of this 100th anniversary of the State Boys High School Basketball Tournament. Mike D'Antoni played in the tournament. A great career, has a great career. What's he doing now, Fred? Any idea?
Yeah, he's out in California.
Oh, yeah, I heard something about that.
Yeah, really. Sent a nice letter to the committee, and they read that at the banquet this past week. He wanted to be here, but he said he was trying to make his own playoffs right now with the Lakers.
That's big. Doesn't have that locked down yet. Turnover Beckley.
That is the 5th Beckley turnover. Martinsburg has turned it over 1 time so far tonight.
I think turnovers are a key, Fred. We watched Bluefield win that AA championship earlier today, and they were so efficient with the basketball. Grantham gets space, cut off, though. He's undercut by the defender, and that's where the foul will come in. And it'll be Day Fortune, I believe, they caught on the foul.
Yeah, Day kind of slid in under as he's backing in. Got to give the young man room to come down on the floor, and that was not done.
There is Dante Grantham, and high school basketball fans in West Virginia know about him, Fred.
Oh, I would think so. I mean, just a very talented young man. As you mentioned, a lot of schools want the services of Dante Grantham, like that gentleman right there, Bob Huggins, in the stands here tonight.
There are some Mountaineer fans, Fred, who think that Grantham could have helped him this year.
There's some Mountaineer fans, Hoppy, could think you could have helped him this year.
I hope Huggins is not listening. 19-9, Bulldogs lead the Eagles. But Grantham is, I mean, they think he's going to be a big-time player. Clemson's after him. Villanova visited with him. West Virginia's interested. Marshall.
They're going to have to put some weight on him, and everyone knows that. But that will be the easy part. He has all the skills. As we already mentioned, great outside shooter at 6'7".
Well, you got two. You had definitely two Division I players in this tournament. As Eugene German, some people might start paying attention to him. I know he's going to play football. He's got 8 points.
Yes, he is. And Beckley needs a timeout, and they're going to get it right now.
And Ron Kidd, the head coach of Beckley, says, look, Eugene German averages 5 points a game. He has 8. He's killing us, man. 21-9, the Bulldogs lead the Eagles.
I'm Harry Ditzler. This community has been very good to Kathy and me, and Yeager too. You know, there's one thing I can't stand, it's injustice. I've been fighting it for 36 years. Now, I can't take every case, but I will take every call. You can call me here at the office, or you can call me at home. I've never had an unlisted home phone number.
For over 30 years, the law firm of Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. and Ditzler has helped keep residents across West Virginia safe and get their lives back. Call 1-800-822-5667.
Attention all high school juniors. Metro News is giving away a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan valued at $125,000. Go to WVMetroNews.com and click the Apply Now button. Application deadline is April 7th. The 2013 West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by MVB Bank, West Virginia Education Association, Brick Street Insurance, West Virginia Forestry Association, and Friends of Coal. Go to WVMetroNews.com and apply today.
Beckley fans trying to get their ball club back in it. They now trail at 21-9. And for Martinsburg, Eugene German's been the story.
He has indeed. He's just been out jumping Beckley inside. Beckley's so far underneath that basket. They had 3 maroon shirts there, but they were all under the net. Tough to get a rebound there. You have to be aware of where you are on the floor.
He's a man. Did you see what he did to him? He got the rebound. Oh, he didn't bring it down. Tried to dribble around. Got it. Went right back up. Scored easy basketball.
That's how you're taught when you're that big. You've already cleared space.
Well, he clears space just by standing there. Eagles need some offense, Fred. Where's it coming from?
Well, it has to come from Dante Neighbors or Andrew Johnson, as we saw last night. Dante Neighbors with the ball to get it to Johnson, and those are the 2 kids that really make the offense go. 9 points for Beckley in a quarter and plus. We usually score 9 points in a couple of minutes.
And another turnover for Beckley, and a reach-in foul by Day Fortune. And he picks up his second. That's a frustration foul because the ball got away from him, and he then commits the foul. You talk about how much you see that in high school basketball. And Ron Kidd scratching his head.
Going to go to Jalen Breckenridge now. He's played a lot of time in this tournament. Day Fortune, who came in for Chase Hancock, who had 2 personal fouls, is now seated again.
And Drew Johnson, you talked about him in the pregame, Fred, hasn't scored yet.
And he had a great game in the semifinals. Just exactly what Beckley needs from him. But he and Dante Neighbors are the key offensively for Beckley.
Okay, we watched that game last night. That was an incredible game where they beat South Charleston. Beckley did. But that was such an emotional game. Did it wear him down a little bit?
No, I don't think so. I think what happened last night was South Charleston was playing exactly the same kind of game that Beckley likes to play. In fact, both coaches said they were mirror images of each other. Not so much with Martinsburg. And Martinsburg has been able to control the tempo, much to the dislike of Beckley.
Breckenridge, who's checked in with a basketball, entry pass, reach-in foul, committed by Denzel Cole, and that's his second. And team foul, number 5 against the Bulldogs. Substitution, Jordan Robinson comes back in, and Cole sits down with those 2 fouls.
Yeah, you want to be aggressive like that, nothing wrong, but Dave Rogers talking with him now. You can't make the foolish plays because there's no chance he was going to get that ball.
On the entry pass, Beckley is there, and the put in for Naquan Carrington. 21-11, 10-point lead for the Bulldogs. That time Carrington just shook loose and got the easy 2.
Yeah, the ninth grader really a presence inside for sure. Great rebounder. Good strong on the board.
Can you imagine a ninth grader playing for Beckley? Offensive foul against the Dogs.
Jordan Robinson charges into Dante Neighbors. That's his second.
Team foul number 6.
And now he's going to go out of the game. And David Long's going to check in for Martinsburg.
So a couple of foul stories developing. Jordan Robinson and Denzel Cole of Martinsburg both on the bench with each on the bench with 2 fouls. Another turnover for Beckley. And the Beckley fans would say right now, Fred, they're not playing Beckley basketball.
Well, they're not. That's simple enough. But, you know, you watch that last exchange. How about that? That corner jumper deep in the corner on the right side from Dante Grantham. And he's what started the turnover here. He's 6'7". He was much closer, much farther away from the floor, yet he reached down and got that turnover before Beckley could.
Now finally Beckley gets on the board. Naquan Carrington with the 2, 24-13. Lewis. Long with the basketball. Lewis commits the offensive foul. And now that's 2 on Lewis.
And again, Beckley just setting up to take the charge. Dante Neighbors again slides over, got set, and took that charge. His dad took a bunch of those when he played for Beckley back in the early 90s. You want to know what else is wrong with Beckley right now? Their backcourt has not scored in this game. Right now, Beckley has 6 points from Naquan Carrington, inside player. I take that back. Neighbors does have 4.
Right, but only 1 field goal.
That's right. Osborne has the other 3 points for Beckley. So you've got to get Andrew Johnson. You've got to get Dante Neighbors, who's with the ball now, much more involved.
Foul on German. And that will send Noah Hancock to the free throw line. Big Noah, they call him.
Big rebound for Big Noah. Went straight back up after the pump fake. Ooh, German got about 99% of that ball.
Officials thought, you know, if you're that big, you probably fouled it. Noah Hancock, the younger brother of Chase Hancock. He's the younger brother, but he's a bigger kid.
Let's go talk about Day Fortune. His brother, Mike Fortune, that played on one of those Beckley championship teams back in 08.
One of 2 for Big Noah. 24-14 Bulldogs. 3:45 to go in the second. Grantham for 3. Too strong. Rebound up and in by Freeman. Elijah Freeman has his first 2. 12-point lead for the Bulldogs. You know, one advantage I see early on is Martinsburg's deep. There's a lot of guys.
Martinsburg plays about 10 guys. Beckley does not. He goes about 8 guys, as all Ron Kidd will play. But another thing you're seeing from Martinsburg is they're shooting extremely well. They're rebounding ridiculously well. Rebound 17-7. Martinsburg has that lead, and Martinsburg has turned the ball over 4 times. We've talked about that. Beckley's turned it over 7 times.
Neighbors. 3. All the way down to the other end, and it's going to be a foul against Beckley. Beckley fans wanted a charge, not going to get it. And that will send Jarrell Jones to the free throw line.
Yeah, I thought Dante Neighbors slid a little late that time. He thought he was going to get some help from the other side. Help was not there. He was pointing for the help from Naquan Carrington, and you could see him lean just a little bit. Good call by Mr. Cash.
Jones is just a freshman. Seen limited action in this tournament. So Dave Rogers going deep on the bench. Some of that precipitated by the foul issues that he has. Drew Johnson checks back in for Beckley.
Number 10, Andrew Johnson into the Beckley lineup.
Solid free throw shooting by Jones. 11-point lead. Drew Johnson with a basketball. One of their leaders has not yet scored in this ball game. Goes up, he's fouled. Foul on Jarrell Jones. 2 shots coming for Drew Johnson.
Johnson, pretty good free throw shooter for Beckley's ball club. So we mentioned the quarterback in the football team this year. A running quarterback, gained a lot of yards, scored a lot of touchdowns.
Rolls the first one in. Has his first point. And for Martinsburg, German goes out. Jason Hill comes in. Described by the coach as a blue-collar player. Works hard to get the rebounds. You know, you got a lot of shooters on this team. You got to have some guys to get some rebounds. 1 of 2, and now the officials are going to question the call here. Martinsburg thinks it's their ball, and yes, they reversed the call.
Goes up to get the rebound, and you can see it did go off of Beckley. Noah Hancock knocking it out.
Good job by the officials to get the call right. Ball gets away from Grantham, or was it a pass? Whatever, it worked as Jason Hill gets 2, and he pumped.
Right now, Martinsburg making no mistakes.
Even things that look like mistakes are going well for the Dogs. Johnson drives in, and the shot is good, and the foul. He'll go to the free throw line. How do you like that shot by Drew Johnson?
Just trying to create right now because the outside shots are not falling. On the dribble drive to the basket, he had to get out of the way. Let's see, did he slide? Yeah, you could see him sliding right there at the end after Johnson was already in the air.
Johnson tries to finish the three-point play and get the deficit back to single digits for the Flying Eagles, and does so. 4 points for Johnson. Ball goes out of bounds, stays with Martinsburg. Dante Neighbors pleading his case. Eugene German back in for the Bulldogs, and Jason Hill sits down. Gets some congratulatory pats. Got a couple of points for him while he was out there.
Yeah, Dave Rogers wants to talk about it, see what's going on right now with his ball club. He doesn't like the fact that Beckley is now all of a sudden within 9 points. Because Beckley, that's just 3 shots.
And also, Dave Rogers knows, he's been around a long time, he knows how it can go with Beckley. They will turn up that defense, and before you know it, they're going to have a couple cheap baskets on you. Let's go back to another great state tournament game. 2008, Beckley, Woodrow Wilson, and South Charleston, Fred.
Oh, no question, it was a great ball game. That's the game we told you that Mike Fortune played on for the Beckley Woodrow Wilson Flying Eagles. Beckley would go on to get their 16th state championship in 2008, the second for Ron Kidd, as Beckley beat the Black Eagles of South Charleston.
16 titles, no team has more than that. Beckley, just one of the institutions of high school basketball in West Virginia.
And I think there's several of those schools like that. Beckley certainly leading the way with those 16 titles. And they're playing against what I think is an institution in high school basketball, and the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Dave Rogers. Of course, you think about Martinsburg a lot now. You think about all the football championships that Dave Walker has won.
Right.
But I'm telling you, Dave Rogers has put together a program there in Martinsburg, and the #1 team in the season, most of the season.
And in an area, Berkeley County is the fastest growing county in the state, second largest county. Now they're building a new high school over there.
It's already built. It'll open up in the fall, Spring Mills, and they're going to take a lot of kids from Hedgesville High School, and they'll take some from Martinsburg. Mostly Hedgesville is what's going to feel the brunt of that. It's still going to be a AAA school, and Hedgesville will remain a AAA school.
Breckenridge will get another one. German sits down. Hairston comes in.
Brian Hairston, that's a big body too.
Hairston had an injury a couple of weeks ago. Still getting back to 100%. Missed them both. Grantham there for the rebound.
Yeah, Grantham on that low block, and he's going to get the rebound. You're not going to go over his back because you can't get that high. Got a tremendous wingspan.
What is he at the next level? A 3?
Yeah, he's a 3 at the next level. That's why they'll put a little weight on him and get him a little stronger.
Minute 45 to go in the second quarter of the AAA championship game. Martinsburg leads Beckley 30-21. Elijah Freeman gets the screen, still keeps it out.
Noah Hancock getting in close on him.
It will go back to Beckley. The ball rolls out of bounds.
Minute 24 for Beckley to get a little closer. Day Fortune will check out of the Beckley lineup.
I think if you're Beckley, you're down 9. If you get this thing to 7 or 6, you say, wow, didn't play very well, and you're
certainly within striking distance.
See what happens in this final minute 15 there. Johnson needs help. Over to Neighbors. Neighbors penetrates, wild shot, rebound taken by Martinsburg. Here comes Freeman. Freeman drives in. Freeman can't get the roll. Rebound Beckley. 50 seconds to go in the half. Foul on Martinsburg.
I think the one thing certainly that at halftime Ron Kidd's going to tell Dante Neighbors, you have some teammates out there, because he's thrown up a couple of shots that I know the youngster wishes he had back.
Foul is on Long. That's team foul number 10 against the Bulldogs. So we have Naquan Carrington shooting 2. 63% free throw shooter.
First chance tonight for the 9th grader.
If there was a downside of this first half for Martinsburg, it's the foul situation.
Naquan Carrington had a brother, played in the state tournament, played for Mountain View High School.
8 now for Carrington. 7-point ball game, Fred.
Well, Beckley will chip away, chip away. Now it's up to Martinsburg now to respond to what Beckley's been doing.
And Grantham's been quiet for a while.
Been 2 minutes since Martinsburg scored. They scored 2:43 on a layup by Hill. They made the score 30-18. Beckley's outscored them 5-0 since that time.
Martinsburg will likely hold for 1 shot. No, not going to travel. Dante Grantham commits the turnover. Takes steps. A little bit out of control there, and it's a turnover for Martinsburg.
Well, Dante's very fortunate they called traveling on him, because he was going to pick up the foul. Andrew Johnson had already set up and had been waiting on him to go through, and he did run over him, but the traveling had been called first.
Johnson across the timeline. 20 seconds. Johnson for 3.
Stay with Beckley.
Yeah, the Martinsburg player grabbed the ball there. I think Woodrow Jones grabbed it heading out of bounds. I'm not sure what he had in mind there. So Beckley will get another chance on it. Johnson trying to wave everybody off. 6 on the clock. Desperation shot from the corner is no good. Nope, they wave it off. It wouldn't have been good if it had gone in. So Martinsburg was up by as many as 12. They went cold. The Flying Eagles come back, and now it's a 7-point ball game. So at the half, in the AAA championship game between the Martinsburg Bulldogs and the Beckley Woodrow Wilson Flying Eagles, right now it's the Bulldogs 30 and the Flying Eagles 23. Today's halftime is presented by the AAC Foundation. If you work for a living, we're working for you at the half in the AAA championship game here in Charleston. It is Martinsburg leading Beckley Woodrow Wilson 30-23. Welcome back in, along with Fred Persinger. I'm Hoppy Kirchhoff, and Fred, they're introducing coaches. These are retiring coaches, correct?
They are retiring coaches, and when you look out onto the floor, you see some familiar names like Bobby Dawson, who, of course, with South Charleston for a long time. It's just a wonderful presentation that the coaches that are already retired welcome others into the ranks. So we usually see about the same number every year, somewhere in the neighborhood of 10, 12 retired coaches that are honored at halftime of the AAA basketball game.
And again, this is part of the ongoing celebration that's been going on this week with the 100th anniversary of the state tournament, which has been just a special week. All right, we've already decided single A and double A. We did that earlier today. Let's look back at that single A game. That was between Tug Valley and Charleston Catholic, Fred. And Tug Valley was double A last year, went down to single A this year. Charleston Catholic defending champions. Tell us about this ball game.
First time anyone has ever played a defending champion for a state championship. We saw Nick George. How about our guy, Aaron Muncie? Muncie had 21 points today, did it all, a career high. He is the running back and middle linebacker on the football team, and Garland Thompson, Rabbit they call him, excited. And how about this? Everyone that started for Tug Valley, he's got a senior-dominated ball club, but I think he's going to be fine next year.
Double A was the Bluefield Beavers. They lost in the Double A championship game last year to Tug Valley. They took on Fairmont Senior, and Bluefield, they were just smoking today.
Anthony Eads, the youngster that just filled it up, 27 points this afternoon for Anthony Eads, driving to the basket, hitting the outside shot, and certainly thrilled to death to have his parents in the stands. His dad, Mike Eads, is a ACC Big Ten official, and he was here, just came in from Greensboro from the ACC tournament to see his son play in the championship, and he was going back after that game. So that's just tremendous. In fact, he'll have the ACC title game to officiate on Sunday. So great tribute to his son to be here to put in the extra miles. And again, memories that last a lifetime were made today by father and son.
They were indeed. It was really a special moment we saw on the television broadcast. Let's talk about this game, Fred. In this game, Martinsburg off to a big start. Offensive output from Eugene German, a guy you don't necessarily expect to get you a ton of points. He had 8 points in the first half. Then Martinsburg seemed to slow down a little bit, and Beckley did what Beckley does. They just started to claw their way back in this ball game.
And again, the key has been the pace to this ball game. It's been dictated by the Martinsburg Bulldogs. They do not want to get out and run with Beckley. They saw what happened to South Charleston last night in a running game, because that's Beckley's game. That's what they love to do. That's when the guards, Andrew Johnson and Dante Neighbors, get into the flow of the game, and we're seeing that it is hurting the outside shooting of Beckley. They just cannot penetrate that zone because of all the height that Martinsburg has. Right now, I think Ron Kidd is telling his kids, you got to be a little more patient, but you definitely got to get those rebounds because they're getting beat on second and third shots.
And if you're Martinsburg and Dave Rogers, Dante Grantham had 7 points. But there were times when it didn't disappear because he's such an effective player, but I think Dante Grantham can do a lot more than he has been doing in this ball game.
Just his presence on the floor makes you pay attention to him, and that's why you've seen Jordan Robinson and Eugene German and the other kids really get involved offensively for Dave Rogers' club. Dante Grantham doesn't have to score to be effective. He's proven that in his career.
Also, Martinsburg was slowed a bit by some foul issues. 3 of their starters ended up on the bench at some point with 2 fouls. Halftime, Martinsburg leads Beckley 30-23 in the AAA title game. Halftime continues at the Charleston Civic Center, and our halftime score is Martinsburg 30, Beckley Woodrow Wilson 23 in the AAA title game. And our Speedy Bevins is standing by right now, courtside with a special guest. Speedy?
We're with Gary Ray, the executive director of the WVSSAC. Gary Ray, for the 100th state tournament, the crowd seemed to be larger and louder. What do you think that is?
Speedy, I think a lot had to do with the matchups we had, and also it's a 100th celebration, and we got a lot of people coming back just to reconnect and get back together again.
We've had a lot of players and coaches that have been recognized this week. What has been their reaction to you during this week to single them out for participating in past state tournaments?
They told me, myself, my staff, how much they appreciated it. And just to watch them, you have the opportunity to reminisce and reconnect. That was really special.
Gary, why do you think this state tournament is so special to those who participate in it? 20, 30 years later, they recall it as one of the most significant parts of their lives.
And you know, Speedy, it's just because it's a great tournament. People in West Virginia love their basketball. And this tournament here kind of culminates the entire year, and they come back, and a lot of people plan a vacation around it. And it's just a great, great atmosphere here when this tournament's going on.
All right, Gary. Congratulations on a great 100th boys state basketball tournament.
Thanks, Petey.
All right, Hoppy, back to you and Fred.
I think Gary Ray is getting hoarse. He's talked to so many people over the last 2 weeks, counting the girls tournament, and this week with everybody coming back. I mean, it's just you see people stopping all the time and talking to each other and telling stories, telling old tales. It's been great.
It really has been, and again, he's feeling much better than he was earlier in the week, that's for sure.
Oh, he's sick.
Yeah, he's been sick. Yeah, he was sick. It was Wednesday, he could barely talk at all, so he wasn't around here much Wednesday during the first day of the tournament, and starting to get better.
Right now, there's a presentation taking place at center court, and our own Dale Miller of Metro News Sports receiving a special citation, and Miller's produced, what now, 26, 27?
27.
And high school students throughout the state. Also representing the WVSSAC are Butch Powell, Ray Londeray, and Kelly Geddes, Assistant Executive Directors. Accepting on behalf of Metro News, Dale Miller, President and CEO of Metro News Radio Network. Now, for 28 years, they have broadcast all 42 games of the girls and boys state tournaments. We are thankful to Metro News for their commitment in the past and look forward to many years of working together in the future. Thank you, Metro News.
And on behalf of Metro News, thank you to the SSAC. It's been a great partnership. We hope it continues. And Dale Miller, president of the company, runs a bunch of radio stations in the network, but he comes down and produces all these games on the state tournament. He loves it. Congratulations to Dale Miller. Second half coming up here at the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum.
Attention all high school juniors. Metro News is giving away a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan valued at $125,000. Go to WVMetroNews.com and click the Apply Now button. Application deadline is April 7th. The 2013 West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by MVB Bank, West Virginia Education Association, Brick Street Insurance, West Virginia Forestry Association, and Friends of Coal. Go to WVMetroNews.com and apply today.
Teams warming up here for the second half. Beckley trailing Martinsburg 32-23. Back here along with Fred Persinger, I'm Hoppy Kirchable. First half highlights, Fred. What stood out to you in the first half? Let's take a look at some of these key highlights.
Well, certainly for Beckley, when you first look at what stands out, even though Dante Neighbors finished the first half with 7 points, it was just not a Dante Neighbors first half. He had a three ball there that was really big. The kid that really stood out, I thought, for Beckley, though, was the freshman, Naquan Carrington. Carrington on the night so far, 8 points, 3 of 3 from the floor. Big presence inside. What stands out for Martinsburg? Well, that's easy. That's big Eugene German. He stands out no matter where he is, but on this floor tonight, he has 6 points just because he's worked harder than anyone else on the floor. So give the big kid credit. Of course, outside shooting has been good for Martinsburg as well. Denzel Cole can hit it without a doubt from way outside. Denzel Cole had 2 3-pointers, 6 points in the first half. And then you have to talk about Dante Grantham. Grantham leads the Bulldogs 7 points, 3 of 6 from the floor. And like we said, he can shoot inside or outside. Huge presence on the floor, Dante Grantham.
Stats in the first half. Rebounding edge going to Beckley, Woodrow, Wilson. Boy, Martinsburg with a ton of second half points, Fred.
Oh, they do have indeed. And that's because of all of the energy that you're seeing right now from Martinsburg. Martinsburg is a ball club that, without question, they're doing what they have to do in order to win this ball game tonight. And you give them credit for it. I mean, they're 11 of 29 from the floor. Second chance points, though, 14. That's because of the rebounds that they're getting second chance because of those offensive boards that they are crashing in on. And they've only turned the ball over 5 times. Points off turnovers, 10. When Beckley makes a mistake, Martinsburg is making them pay for it.
Let's flash back to the 1994 championship game. Remember this DuPont squad?
Who wouldn't remember that DuPont squad? Jason Williams, Randy Moss behind the back pass to the big guy who can throw it down. This game with Beckley was played on a Thursday morning. Beckley, of course, had big Anthony Scruggs, and it was just one of those games. Gene Neighbors played on this 1994 game against DuPont. DuPont, though, would then go on in the championship against Martinsburg, and Martinsburg would win this ball game by 6 points. Everyone thought when DuPont knocked off Beckley in the quarterfinals, DuPont had it won. Dave Martin's crew said, I don't think so. And they took care of DuPont on that Saturday night.
Yeah, it was amazing that they had Jason Williams and Randy Moss on the same team and did not win the championship.
They had Bobby Howard.
Bobby Howard was on it, too.
Pretty good team.
Boy, Beckley has a great following. Always do. The Beckley fans are here, and the Martinsburg fans have come a long way as well. It's a long trip from the Eastern Panhandle.
Boy, had great crowds for this 100th boys state tournament.
You know, we talked earlier about Tug Valley, when we talked about single A and double A, and Tug Valley winning the single A. How about those Tug Valley fans today? They were spectacular.
Special. And again, they win a state championship for the second year in a row. Different class. Now single A, but they won that one rather handily over Charleston Catholic. So good job by Garland Thompson.
Second half getting underway. The Bulldogs with the basketball, and they lead Beckley 30-23. What are you watching for early second half, Fred?
The tempo. I think we've talked about it a few times, but the tempo was so important for Beckley. Beckley cannot play the way Martinsburg wants to play. Martinsburg has too many weapons to grab rebounds and take care of the basketball. So Beckley, and we've talked about it already, Martinsburg is so deep. Beckley has to do a better job of controlling the tempo.
Oh, Grantham swats it away. That time Grantham just said, not around my town. Robinson. Rebound taken out by Hancock. I think, too, if you're Ron Kidd, that you said, play Beckley defense. Get those hands up there. Swat some things around. Make some things happen. Make it happen on the defensive end. Neighbors gets in. Can't get it to roll. Rebound taken by the Bulldogs and Denzel Cole.
Defense is what has won Beckley 16 state championships.
Lewis, baseline, but Grantham is there for the putback.
You have to know where Grantham is. You've got to screen him off the board. That time Dante Neighbors let him get around him, and there's no height advantage. That's just ridiculous how much taller Dante Grantham is than Dante Neighbors. But Dante Grantham, if he's screened off, which he was not, he's going to have an easy two, which he did.
He's one of those players, Grantham is. He's so graceful. He's joyful to watch. It's joyful to watch him play. Just underway in the second half. Martinsburg leads Beckley 32-23 in the AAA championship game. Beckley trying to win their 17th championship. Martinsburg trying to win their third. Off the glass. Oh, it goes in and out for Johnson.
Beckley now 7 of 22 from the floor tonight.
Lewis into Grantham. Oh my, it got away from him. Now Beckley's quickly down. 2-on-2. Hancock, no good. Rebound, Neighbors. And a foul. How about the alley-oop to Grantham on the other end?
I don't think anyone really has a problem with that. I don't. I just, sometimes, though, this game's not won. And I think that's what Dave Rogers would certainly tell his kids. This game's not over with. If you want to have some fun with alley-oops and things like that, let's make sure we've got the game in control. And it's not in control just yet. If Beckley keeps shooting the way they have been, it may be.
Naquan Carrington gets it up over Grantham for 2. He has 10 points. Shot is good, and it will be Eugene German going to the free throw line.
And it will be the third foul on Chase Hancock. Inside, not a lot you can do with him. Looks like it could have been easily Brent Osborne as well, but they did call it on Hancock.
Third on Hancock, team foul number 1. German tries to complete the conventional three-point play way short. Didn't hit anything. And the Beckley fans let him know about it.
Jordan Robinson did hit the cameraman right below the basket.
Beckley with the basketball, trailing 34-25.
Important trip down the floor for Beckley.
Johnson fade away, but draws the foul. So he got the shot off in order to go to the free throw line and accomplishes that.
Beckley trying too many hard shots. There's just, it already had, I'm surprised they're going to give him the free throws because he got fouled on the floor, but they're creating some fouls, but they need to create easier shots.
The foul was on Jordan Robinson. That's his third, so Robinson will go out and Long will come in. Johnson makes the first. He has 5.
Dave Rogers talking with this youngster.
But I tell you, Fred, as ineffective as Beckley has been shooting from the field, they're still hanging around big time.
Well, they're hanging around. They're getting a lot of free throws. They're 9 of 13 from the free throw line tonight. But again, if you've seen a slower game Beckley play than this, it's not Beckley basketball at all.
Lewis for 3. Yes, Jalen Lewis has his first bucket of the game. Lead back out to 10. All the way down is Johnson, and Johnson goes down hard and will go to the free throw line.
Eugene German going to be called for the block. I'll tell you what, Hoppy, I'm just impressed that Andrew Johnson could even knock down Eugene German. I'm surprised he just didn't catch it or bounce off of him.
Drew Johnson, 68% free throw shooter.
And if you're Dave Rogers, you can't be happy that his team is allowing Beckley to peck away with the clock stop. And that's exactly what they're doing with every foul committed.
Exactly. And I think because of the fouls and the stop clock, the game so far in this quarter has not gotten any rhythm to it.
And it's been tough to see any rhythm in this game at all so far tonight, even though it's only a 9-point ball game.
I thought in the first half, although Martinsburg had it going offensively early on. Robinson, dogged by Hancock. Robinson off the dribble. Grantham is there for the putback and will go to the free throw line. Boy, Grantham just sneaks in there. Nobody gets a body on him, and he gets the 2.
Well, again, I'm not so sure it's about him sneaking. I just think Beckley is playing poor defense. You've got to know he's right there, and the whole baseline is open to him.
They got Neighbors on the foul. That's his second. Grantham is a 66% free throw shooter. Second trip to the line tonight.
In all fairness, Beckley needs to quit watching the shot and play the game the way they've been taught to play. And that's not stand around looking up.
Well, when the shot goes up, you put your arms out, you find the defender, and you put your keister on him, right?
So, exactly, and Beckley's not been doing that. So give credit to Eugene German and to Dante Grantham. They know what to do in the ball shot. They're going after the rebound.
Johnson is pushed.
Lewis is going to pick this one up. That'll be his third.
Jalen Lewis, foul number 3, and team foul number 4. So already 4 team fouls and just midway through the third quarter. So we're going to spend a lot of time the rest of this evening at the free throw line.
Yeah, I think you're right, because we still have 4:43 left in this one, and it's obvious these teams playing aggressive.
Johnson looking for a cutter, looking. 3-point shot is no good by Osborne. Freeman at the point. Swings it over to Hairston. Now Lewis. That was a 3-pointer. Hairston with the rebound. Hairston goes back up with one hand. Short. Fought for Grantham. That's a 3. And rebound by Osborne. 3 tries, no points for the Bulldogs, but they have a 12-point lead. Johnson. I think also Johnson, as skilled as he is, has to try to not do everything himself. Ball goes out of bounds. It will stay with Martinsburg. 3:54 left to go in the third quarter of the AAA championship game. And the Martinsburg Bulldogs hold a 12-point advantage over Beckley.
Online college courses in the high school saved me money on my first semester of classes while I was still in high school.
The online college courses in the high schools program allowed me to work on my English composition where it's comfortable and convenient for me.
After taking the medical terminology class online, I decided early to major in nursing.
Online college courses in the high schools. It's affordable, flexible, and convenient.
No way possible.
Come on, Jimmy!
My mom's here. Gotta go. Can I go out with the guys tonight?
Not until your room's clean. Do you have money for your lunch?
Yes.
Did you finish your homework?
Yeah, wait, what?
So, sweetie, what do your parents do?
Jim really wishes he didn't get that DUI. Don't be Jim.
I love you, Jimmy!
Drive sober or get pulled over.
Love you too, Mom.
Martinsburg has the lead by 12, and they're being led by Dante Grantham, who has 14 points.
Well, he actually has a double-double right now. 14 points, 13 rebounds. He's thrown in some blocked shots, as you see there, and he can shoot inside. He can get the tip inside. Dante Grantham is the complete deal. He documented extremely well how many schools would love that youngster to come play college ball this fall. So it'll be interesting to see what his choice will be, and I think he will make that in the next couple of weeks.
Grantham again. Oh.
And again and again.
Grantham taking control of the game. And in this setting, a player of Grantham's abilities has the opportunity to dominate a game, and that's what Dante Grantham is doing so far tonight.
Without a doubt, his most complete performance in this tournament.
Rebound Hairston. Over to Lewis.
In the meantime, Beckley is now shooting less than 30% from the floor. Martinsburg almost 40%.
Lewis for three. Beckley is in trouble. Ron Kidd wants to talk about it, and the Bulldog fans are pumped. It is not often you see a Beckley basketball team take these kind of punches, but Martinsburg has been delivering here in the last few minutes.
Well, everyone on the team from Martinsburg now has confidence regardless of whether they're shooting the ball inside or outside. And when you look and you watch the great outside shooting that you've seen tonight, that time Jalen Lewis just buried it from outside. Everyone, you've got this great fan base that has come down from the Eastern Panhandle, driven the 300-plus miles to the capital city. And they would love to win another state title for Dave Rogers. And since 2009, when Martinsburg defeated South Charleston 53-52, had players like Michael Cole and Isaac Thornton, and Cameron Cato was on that ball club as well. All names that sound familiar. Certainly they do to Martinsburg Bulldog fans. So only in their 31 appearances, though, I thought you and I talked about this. Right. A little strange to me that Martinsburg, as good as this program is, only has 2 championships. I think that makes the Beckley 16 just that more ridiculous sounding.
It is. That 16 number is hard to imagine. I think, too, that it's difficult. It has been difficult for an Eastern Panhandle team to come this far and play in this unfamiliar setting. I don't think as much as it used to be. Okay, teams travel a lot more, transportation better. But I'm telling you, years ago, Fred, it was hard for an Eastern Panhandle team to come all the way down here and then play in this setting, an environment where some of these teams were somewhat more used to.
Yeah, and I think it's also fair that what Dave Rogers has done is he's tried to get his teams to play other teams. They played Morgantown. They played other teams that have been to Charleston a lot in the years gone by. So Dave Rogers has done just a tremendous job with the Bulldogs. And, you know, you can talk about Beckley and Ron Kidd and what a wonderful job that youngster's done. And he has 2 state titles to his own credit right now. And we've talked about the many that Beckley has. But it's 2 great programs. And tonight, this game belongs to the Martinsburg Bulldogs because they're doing everything they want to do.
The foul that time was on Jalen Lewis of Martinsburg. And Fred, that's his 4th. So he sits down, but Martinsburg still has the 15-point lead, and they have the basketball. Freeman with the jumper. On the long rebound is taken out of there by Naquan Carrington. Beckley needs points, and Grantham swats it away. Johnson drives in. Johnson gets some space. Johnson off the glass.
I'll give Beckley credit. They're not afraid to continue to take it into Grantham, even though he says don't do that.
Great hustle that time by Drew Johnson. Well, look, you got the quickness to take it in. Okay, so what if you get a couple swatted away? You might get a bucket. You might get a foul. You slow down the game. Smart basketball.
Yeah, Andrew Johnson scored that time over the taller trees inside. He now has 9 points for Beckley. The lead is back down to 13. Still a lot of basketball. 10 minutes of basketball action, in fact, left.
45-32. Does Beckley have one of those patented flying eagle runs in them?
I think they definitely do, but I think they have to be more concerned about the runs that Martinsburg has been on tonight.
Long pulls up the dribble. Over to Jarrell Jones.
I think you're going to see in the fourth quarter Beckley really step on the defense. They're playing that man-to-man now, but they're going to even tighten that up even further. What do you have to lose? One thing to play a very tight man-to-man when you're trying to save someone from foul trouble, but not now. You've got to go.
And sometimes when teams try to run clock, Fred, they kind of get out of rhythm.
Well, they do, exactly. It's not what they've done through the whole game, and now all of a sudden they're doing something differently. You got Beckley slapping at every pass. The one thing that I would be concerned about, though, if I'm Ron Kidd, Beckley's committed only 2 team fouls. They'll make it 3 now. And it gets to a point where, as great as guys like David Long and other players like Jarrell Jones is handling the ball for Dave Rogers, you're going to have to start fouling to get them on the line just to stop the clock and hopefully get the ball back.
Oh, the long three. No good. By Martinsburg. Neighbors launches. Neighbors hits. Maybe that'll get Beckley rolling.
Well, there you go. You get a stop and you come down and get a nice jump shot, all in the period of a few seconds, and that's what Beckley has to do. They steal it again. That's stolen right back by Martinsburg.
Held basketball, and it goes to Beckley.
Nice sportsmanship there by Andrew Johnson. Dante Neighbors helping up Dante Grantham.
And the Beckley crowd has come alive because they've seen this so many times. An 11-point game, 45-34. Martinsburg, Beckley with a basketball, under a minute to play in the third. Johnson off the dribble. Johnson for 2. He has 11. 9-point game. And Beckley has life.
Martinsburg last scored over 3 minutes ago when they made the score 45-28. It's 45-36 right now. An 8-0 run by Beckley. Again, not a bad foul by Carrington. That'll be his third. Foul away from the basket, not a shooting situation. That's the 4th team foul. Beckley still has 3 to give. Not that they're going to want to put him on the foul line all the time, but when they get to that point, it's good to know that you're not going to waste a lot of time.
Long will throw it in, gets it into Freeman. 20 seconds, Freeman holding for 1 shot.
Now, this would be huge for Beckley if they can stop Martinsburg from cashing in this last shot.
10. Freeman over to Grantham. Grantham stepped on the line. Turnover Martinsburg.
I'm not sure what size shoe Dante Grantham wears, but I think it's a little larger than he even knows.
There is time to get a shot off.
Yeah, 5.7 seconds, a lot of time.
Johnson races down the court. Johnson drives in. Ball gets away. So Martinsburg does get the stop to end the third quarter. And even though Martinsburg is up by 9, 45-36, I think we're going to see a furious fourth quarter to decide the AAA championship. Don't go away. Our Metro News Sports presentation of the AAA championship game continues right after this.
Remember when a trip to the bank meant getting a lollipop reward just because you walked in with Mom? At MVB Bank, we want you to feel that stress-free again. We're dedicated to making your life easier with the latest technologies, and our MVB Bank professionals value your trust. So step out of the banking world as you know it and discover convenient, peace-of-mind banking and a rewarding visit every time. MVB Bank, your most valuable bank. Member FDIC.
Strong spiritual growth, nurturing environment, fully accredited schools, focus on emerging technology. More than $21 million in scholarships offered to the class of 2012. Living the gospel values. Competitive curriculum and character-building activities create a premier education for all children in a uniquely Catholic environment. The Catholic schools of the Diocese of Wheeling-Charleston since 1838.
This exclusive presentation of the 2013 West Virginia High School Basketball Championships is presented by the Catholic Schools of the Diocese of Wheeling-Charleston, by the ACT Foundation. If you work for a living, we're working for you. By West Liberty University, your journey starts here. And by Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. and Dietzler, PLLC, keeping West Virginia safe for over 30 years. And we're pleased you're with us on our Metro News Sports presentation of the 100th State Boys High School Basketball Tournament.
Logan Wildcats, Vic Herbert right there shooting that jumper. Willie Akers with Tex Williams. Ronnie Kidd cutting down the net. And that Beckley 52 state champs right in the middle. Number 17, Pete Colacerto, long time head football coach previously for the Beckley Woodrow Wilson Flying Eagles.
Fourth quarter. AAA title on the line here between Beckley and Martinsburg. It's been Martinsburg's game all the way, but you just get the feeling that Beckley is back in this thing after a run near the end of the third quarter.
First couple of minutes of this fourth period, very, very important for both teams. Martinsburg trying to reestablish themselves as the dominant team on the floor, and Beckley trying to continue what they did to end the third period.
Denzel Cole, guarded by Johnson. 5-second call.
And Dante Grantham yelling at Denzel Cole. You've got to get rid of the basketball.
You got the dogs talking to each other. Dante Grantham slapping his hands together, urging on his Bulldogs. They want to stop. Grantham slams it against the backboard.
Just a quality big man play. No foul, clean block, and they come away with the ball. Big time play for Dante Grantham.
Grantham out front. Guarded by Carrington. Grantham with the floater. In and out. There with the rebound. Up. No good. Rebound taken by Beckley. Boy, Cole was there. Just couldn't get it to go down.
Yeah, Naquan Carrington, he did a wonderful job that time on the defensive board for Beckley.
Ball gets away. Taken back somehow by Day Fortune. Oh, the long three is no good. And guess who's there for the rebound? Grantham have now in rebounds, 14. Coming up on 6 minutes to play. Bulldogs by 9.
Neither team has scored in this fourth period, and that's okay for Martinsburg, not so much for Beckley.
Ball gets away, another turnover for Martinsburg. You can just feel, though, the intensity's picked up considerably. Johnson whipped the pass down. It was too strong for the Beckley player, and a turnover for the Flying Eagles.
10th turnover for Martinsburg, and then Beckley comes down and makes their 9th turnover. And that really is a pass that has to be caught by Beckley.
Timeout here in the fourth. 5:53 remaining. Bulldogs by 9.
Some people say union construction workers have an attitude. And you know, they're right. My attitude is safety. I'm drug-free. I don't do them, and I don't work with guys who do. Yeah, we get screened all the time, but I'm drug-free and my coworkers are too, because we depend on each other to work safe and do the best job possible. So yeah, union construction workers got attitude, the right attitude, for a safe, productive workforce.
I'm Harry Ditzler. This community has been very good to Kathy and me, and Jaeger too. You know, there's one thing I can't stand, it's injustice. I've been fighting it for 36 years. Now, I can't take every case, but I will take every call. You can call me here at the office, or you can call me at home. I've never had an unlisted home phone number.
For over 30 years, the law firm of Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler has helped keep residents across West Virginia safe and get their lives back. Call 1-800-822-5667.
Beckley's Naquan Carrington was going in for the shot, and Dante Grantham came sailing in like a raptor.
Well, it's a great pass from Andrew Johnson, and you got to think Naquan Carrington's feeling pretty good about his position, but here came the big man, Dante Grantham, as clean a block as you'd want to see. No reason there's a lot of college teams looking for that young man.
Including, as we pointed out earlier, Bob Huggins in the crowd today. He had his glasses on as well. He wants to make sure he gets a good look at Dante Grantham. Too strong for Freeman, but the big guy, German, comes out of there with it. Jordan Robinson with the basketball over to Freeman. Freeman penetrates, and a foul on Neighbors. That's Neighbors' third.
You know, I know if it stays the way it is right now, and rightfully so, that Dante Grantham should be the player of the game. However, I think you've got to give at least a nod or two to Eugene German in the game that he's played.
Five team fouls against each team. So we are going to have some free throws here before it's all over. Grantham fouled by Chase Hancock, and that's going to be 4 on Hancock.
Dante Grantham has just beat people to the spot tonight. Simple enough. Without question, his best game of the tournament. And that's somebody wanting a state championship to close out their remarkable high school career.
Yeah, that's always, you think about that offensive foul.
Boy, Beckley has taken a ton of those tonight.
On Freeman. But you think of the career of Dante Grantham and all the things you accomplished, and again, he's going to be a D1 recruit. But can you win that championship? Yeah. Can you have that state title? That's sort of how you complete the career. Not over yet, that's for sure.
It's 5 minutes away, though.
Johnson rolls it in. Wow, Drew Johnson just drove in. That was just a matter of will. 45-38, 7-point game. Foul against Beckley.
Dante Neighbors has picked up his 4th personal foul. Just a wonderful job by running back. He looked like he was heading to the end zone with that one.
Oh, he was taking it in. But here's the problem that, I mean, you got a 7-point game, but Neighbors has 4, Hancock has 4, Carrington has 3, Johnson I don't have with a foul. But Beckley, you know, they love to play that intense swatting defense. It could limit them just a little bit. Certainly Neighbors and Hancock, it limits them.
Dante is such a talented player. He's the leading scorer on this ball club. Came into this tournament averaging over 20 points a game. Tonight we show him with just 9 points, 3 of 10 from the floor.
We had a player from Martinsburg had some blood and had to go out. I think that's Long. No, it's Freeman. And they're going to change jerseys for Freeman. I think he's going to go from 10 to 34. Putback is good for Naquan Carrington. He's had a solid game. He has 12 points. 5-point game, Fred.
It is indeed. This one's still a long way from being over.
The drive in. And offensive foul. Another offensive foul against Martinsburg.
Listen to the Beckley fans now. Andrew Johnson going to set up, and boom, took the shot. No question. as Denzel Cole charged into him, and that is the 4th foul on Cole.
The Beckley fans are bouncing up and down. They're feeling it. They've come from, what, 15 down at one point to 5 down. Now it's a 3-point game.
That was a heck of a pass from the quarterback on the football team, Andrew Johnson, down low to Chase Hancock.
45-42, Martinsburg. Ball is knocked out of bounds. It will stay with Martinsburg.
How about the speed of Day Fortune? Chased Dante Grantham down, knocked the ball out from behind. Day Fortune, as we look at this beautiful chest pass in to Chase Hancock from Andrew Johnson. Now we've got a timeout.
Rogers needs a timeout. He's got to calm the Bulldogs down. And Beckley, they're bouncing around because they're back in this ball game.
Ever since I was young, I have lived and breathed art, but I didn't know how to turn that passion into a career. At West Liberty University, I found professors who were as passionate as I, and it gave me the tools to succeed. Having been featured in several national publications, my passion is now my career, and it all started here. My name is Jesse Lenz, and I am an artist. West Liberty University, welcome to your future.
Martinsburg was up by 15 midway third quarter. The question was, Fred, could Beckley put together one of those patented runs?
Well, with 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the third quarter, Martinsburg led 45-28. It's been a 14-0 run since that point for Beckley. And they've been doing it just all over the floor. Great underneath pass to Chase Hancock. And they've been playing Beckley defense.
Well, I think that's a big part of it. They've shut down the offense of Martinsburg. The floater is no good by Lewis. Rebound, Grantham. Grantham's foul. Johnson commits the foul.
And Johnson's okay with that, and I think Ron Kidd's okay with that. And for Johnson, that's his first personal foul. You're not going to give an easy two to Dante Grantham, even though Grantham shoots extremely well from the line. He's 3 of 3 tonight. But make him earn it with a little pressure of the state title on the line.
17 points for Grantham.
Brent Osborne will check out of the ball game. Get Chase Hancock back in.
For the 6'7" senior. Lead is 5. 4 minutes to play in the AAA championship game. Johnson with a basketball. Johnson for 3, partially blocked. Taken out of the air by Grantham. Grantham leads the break. Lewis, floater, in and out. Grantham battles for the rebound. And a foul against Beckley. That was actually long in their battling.
Foul on Andrew Johnson. That will be his second.
So Johnson has 2. And going to the free throw line for Martinsburg.
It's been a great comeback for Beckley, but I think they're going to have to start looking a little more for Dante Neighbors now on that offensive end. I thought Andrew Johnson just shot a little too quick the last time down the floor. Beckley had it all going their way.
I think there's a tendency, Johnson's a playmaker. I think he really wanted to. If he hit that, the Beckley fans would have come out of their seats. Lewis 1 of 2. He has 7. 6-point lead for Martinsburg. Johnson gets away from him. Here comes Lewis. Lewis all the way. Lewis is fouled. Boy, Lewis went streaking down the court. And that's going to be it for Chase Hancock, folks.
Yeah, Chase is going to leave the game, and that's a big loss for Beckley, particularly on the offensive end of the floor. Now the kid's going to have to make a decision as to who he's going to bring in, and he's going to get Brent Osborne, the sophomore, back up off the bench. Osborne does give him the size, particularly on the defensive end. You remember, Osborne hit that big three-pointer back in the first quarter. He's not scored since then, but he's certainly capable of scoring.
You know, Hancock did not have a big offensive game. He got in that foul trouble in the first half, and leads with just 1 field goal and 4 points. Lewis, a 74% free throw shooter at the line.
It's the 10th team foul, so they're on the double bonus.
One of 2. He has 8 points. 7-point lead.
It'll be interesting to see now if Andrew Johnson shoots this time down the floor. The last 2 times have not gone well.
Stolen away by Martinsburg.
A bad pass.
And it's going to be Jalen Lewis back at the free throw line. Beckley with a couple key mistakes. They got that thing down to within a couple of points, Fred, and they made a couple of bad decisions the last few trips.
Last free throw or last foul called on Beckley's Brent Osborne got caught in a bad way and had to make sure the 2 points weren't going to be for sure.
So it's Lewis again. 9 points for Lewis. And again, it's back out to an 8-point lead with 3:25 remaining. Martinsburg on top, trying to win their 3rd state championship. Beckley trying to win their 17th. And from this point on, as you pointed out, it's double bonus all the way for Martinsburg. Johnson for 3. Johnson has 16 points. 51-45. And Fred, you were about to sit here and say, you know, Johnson, you know, Drew, you don't have to do it all yourself, but he just nailed the 3.
But you know he didn't do that all by himself. He got that great pass from underneath. Great job by the young man falling down. Check that. That is Day Fortune. He was falling down and out of bounds. He got the pass over to him. And then that's a wide open look. He'd already squared up in the corner. So he doesn't score that without that great assist and that save by Day Fortune.
51-45. Martinsburg leads Beckley. The Bulldogs, 17 fouls, 10 for the Eagles. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining.
And I guarantee you Dave Rogers is telling his kids right now, this game is not over. You have not won a state championship just yet. You know, the one thing that we've talked a lot about, Dante Grantham, but the one thing we haven't mentioned, he has only 1 personal foul. And I mean, he has played every minute of this ball game. He just continues to work hard.
Yeah, and for a shot blocker to not have more fouls.
That's right.
Beckley fans wanted a charge. Not going to get it. Lewis gets it into Long, but Long travels.
Credit Brent Osborne with that travel. Brent Osborne came over and set up squarely in front of him. And Long had nowhere to go. He stutter-stepped. Good call by Mr. Cash again.
And Dante Neighbors a little bit shaken up. He was trying to get that charge. I think he took a hard spill. He's limping around and grimacing.
Now you're going to send Day Fortune now to the free throw line. On 1 plus the bonus with 2:54 left in the game. Ron Kidd certainly concerned about the outcome of this ball game. His team down by 6 points.
Boy, and Dave Rogers, you could see him just roll his eyes and say, don't
do that.
Don't do that. Day Fortune has not yet scored. First trip to the free throw line. He's only a 38% free throw shooter.
What a tremendous story that is for Day Fortune. Tremendous automobile accident back in December. The youngster, broken collarbones, crushed ribs. They honestly didn't think he would play basketball again, and here he is in the state title game. And Dante Neighbors had to check out for that Beckley lineup.
Grabbing his right hip and lower back for his ribs.
Jalen Breckenridge has been inserted. How about Day Fortune? Boom, boom. Got them both.
4-point game. Martinsburg still in front. Plenty of time. 2:50 remaining. Grantham in the lane. Can't get the roll. Scramble for the rebound. Held ball, and it goes to Beckley.
We got a timeout. Beckley got a timeout. Oh, that's a call that I have not agreed with ever since they said you could do it. You're scrambling on the floor. No one really has control of the basketball. Timeout. Well, in this case, Beckley did have control of the basketball. It was a good camera shot there by our guys in the truck, but that call, I hate that call where you can get a timeout anytime. Just call it. We don't care.
Well, it worked for Beckley that time.
It did indeed.
I thought you had a held ball, got the timeout. So Beckley will be able to maintain possession, and they'll have the basketball trailing 51-47, 2:41 left.
And they saved that possession arrow pointing the direction their way. So great call by the youngster from Beckley.
Now, if you're Beckley, Fred, I mean, there's plenty of time. You don't have to rush the shot. Take your time, get the shot you need, right?
Oh, yeah. 2 minutes and 41 seconds in a high school basketball game's an eternity. And I guarantee you it's going to feel a lot longer for Dave Rogers than it is for Beckley's Ron Kidd.
Going to get some good free throw shooting tests coming up here. So Beckley Woodrow Wilson has committed 10 team fouls, so the double bunch the rest away for the Bulldogs. And Martinsburg is close to that 10-team limit. Beckley has 1 timeout remaining, and Martinsburg has 2. Here we go. Andrew Johnson with the basketball. 51-47, Martinsburg, 2:30 remaining. Beckley with a furious comeback. They trailed by 16 in the second half. Neighbors, who's back in. Too short. Rebound, Grantham. Grantham pulls it out. Gets it to Lewis. Lewis throws it away because he was trying to get it to Grantham. Grantham went down. Dave Rogers wanted a foul because thought that Grantham was tripped, but the ball goes out of bounds. Turnover, Martinsburg.
You know, Dante Grantham fell down. He was still taller than half the kids on the floor. Could have reached his arms up there.
2 minutes. Johnson to Neighbors. Back to Johnson. It was touched by Martinsburg.
Yeah, David Long got his fingers on it. Knock it out of bounds. But now all of a sudden you're looking at the time. The minute 51. And time is getting close on the Beckley Flying Eagles comeback.
Drew Johnson throws it in. Back to Drew Johnson. Runs right into Grantham. Picks up his dribble. Entry pass. Nearly stolen away. Back to Johnson. And in to Day Fortune. And Day Fortune is fouled. So Fortune, who we said was not a great free throw shooter, but has made 2 of 2, goes back to the free throw line.
Great pass. Down inside. They'll whistle the personal foul on the Martinsburg Bulldogs, coming over to try and take that shot away from Day Fortune, and Dante Grantham has picked up personal number 2. They call that on David Long, sorry.
Fortune could make it a 1-possession game. So Elijah Freeman took off the number 10 jersey, got blood on it, went to 34, now he's back to 10. If you're keeping track at home. How do you like Day Fortune?
4 of 4 in a crucial time. Dante Neighbors is going to check out of the ball game again. And he is limping still as he walks off, followed by his dad, Gene Neighbors.
Martinsburg by 2, 1:30 to go. To Grantham. Over to Freeman, back to Grantham. Dave Rogers surveying the offense of the Bulldogs. Beckley defense, man-to-man, right in your face. Timeout, Dave Rogers. So Dave Rogers, that's a veteran coach. Run some clock, and before it gets too crazy, call the timeout. Let's go back to 1991, one of the great games in state tournament history. Beckley-Logan, Fred.
It was a great ball game indeed. Vic Herbert, the Logan head coach. Dave Barksdale, the Beckley head coach. Glenn Staples for Beckley. Beckley also had Ryan Culacerto on that ball team. But Logan's Wildcats, they did what they had to do, and they became state champions in 1991, beating Beckley by 8 points. And the celebration for the Logan Wildcats in 1991.
And that ball game, by the way, was directed by Nick Smith, who spent many years in broadcasting in West Virginia, and sadly, Nick passed away yesterday. So our thoughts are with Nick's family and friends, his wife Peggy, and Nick, a dear friend of a lot of TV and broadcasting folks in West Virginia.
Well, each team has 1 timeout remaining now. Both teams are on the double bonus. And the possession arrow points the direction of the team in maroon and white, the Beckley Woodrow Wilson Flying Eagles.
1:11 to go. We were rolling along here midway third quarter. We were thinking, Fred, that might not be much of a ball game.
But then you said Beckley have one of those runs in them?
Of course they do.
Obviously they did.
Grantham looks to get it in and does to Robinson. Over to Freeman. See what Dave Rogers drew up. Freeman.
They're going to try and keep it away and then get the ball in the hands of the guy they want to have it.
Foul by Breckenridge.
Dante Neighbors getting set to come back into the Beckley lineup, of course, to shoot the 3.
Jalen Lewis at the free throw line. Lewis is 74% free throw shooter. He gets 2 here, Fred.
Yes, he does. And tonight he's now 5 of 7 from that free throw line. He makes 1 more. It is a 2-possession game with 52 seconds remaining.
Kicks out. Rebound Osborne.
Big rebound by Brent Osborne, the sophomore. They've got Andrew Johnson covered up, and the ball thrown away.
Thrown away. Up to Freeman. Lewis with the bucket. 5-point game. 54-49. The long 3. Too long. Rebound taken by Johnson. Beckley still has the basketball. Neighbors will try. Drives in with the floater. No good. And a foul. So Beckley had the basketball, was heading down the court, and the ball was stolen away by Martinsburg. And Martinsburg got a bucket out of it, and that was huge, Fred.
Yeah, that was a big, big play. Brent Osborne thought he could get it over, but he did not project the fact that Jordan Robinson was coming in, just like a quarterback doesn't see that safety coming in. And he intercepted that pass, and a big, big 2 points.
David Wong at the free throw line. He's a 70% free throw shooter. Six-point lead, 55-49. Fifteen seconds remaining. Drew Johnson just hit a rainbow. A 3-pointer to make it a 3-point game. My gosh, what a shot by Drew Johnson. That was way outside. And now we're back to within 3. 55-52 with 13 seconds remaining. That's an NBA 3. So now Martinsburg with the basketball up by 3. Beckley will go for the steal, Fred. If they don't get the steal, they'll have to foul.
Yeah, they do. And again, I don't think there's anyone on this Martinsburg ball club that you can wait and hope they get the ball to foul, because they're all good free throw shooters. Robinson's on the floor, 1 of 2. Lewis is 5 of 8. Long is 1 of 2. Grantham is 5 of 5. And German, he's 0 of 1, but I doubt they're going to want to get the ball to German. So I would think you would look to get the ball to Grantham, maybe to Lewis.
Robinson
would be fine. He's 1 of 2. Even Long. a good free throw shooter on the season.
The key, first of all, if you're Martinsburg, is get the ball in.
You have to get the ball in. Now, if you're Martinsburg, you have one timeout remaining. So if you can't get it in, you have the luxury of calling that timeout. Beckley has no timeouts remaining.
Keep in mind, Beckley with those quick hands, notorious for stealing the basketball. Jordan Robinson will throw it in for Martinsburg. 13 seconds remaining. They do get it in to Grantham, and Grantham is fouled. And he's your senior leader. He's the guy, Fred, you want on the free throw line.
Sure, he makes one. It's a two-possession game. It's a three-point lead right now. Ron Kidd knows that better than anyone. Ron Kidd, of course, played his college basketball at Bluefield State. We haven't mentioned it, but standing right behind, or sitting now behind Dave Rogers, Marcellus Basie. That was a pretty good name in high school basketball.
Yeah, in WVU. Grantham can make it a two-possession game, and he does. He has 19 points.
There's Marcellus Basie. Well, you talk about someone that likes to yell on the bench.
Oh, my gosh.
I told him the other night I think they heard him in Martinsburg.
Makes them both. 5-point lead. Martinsburg must not foul. Beckley needs a quick basket. It's off. Rebound Grantham. 1.9 seconds remaining.
Game is over, but Beckley will get the ball to inbound. Beckley basketball.
Beckley will throw it in. He'll have time to get off the shot, but
and Martinsburg could care less.
Shot by Johnson. No good. Martinsburg wins the AAA championship as the Bulldogs defeat the Flying Eagles of Beckley 57-52. The third title for Dave Rogers and the Bulldogs. The banner said, just like football. They win it in football. They win it in basketball. Stay with us. We'll be back with head coach Dave Rogers.
No way possible.
Come on, Jimmy!
My mom's here. Gotta go. Can I go out with the guys tonight?
Not until your room's clean. Do you have money for your lunch?
Yes.
Did you finish your homework?
Yeah, wait, what?
So, sweetie, what do your parents do?
Jim really wishes he didn't get that DUI. Don't be Jim.
I love you, Jimmy!
Drive sober or get pulled over.
Love you too, Mom.
Celebration underway in the Panhandle as Martinsburg defeats Beckley 57-52 to win the AAA championship. Marcellus Basie giving a hug to Dante Grantham. The play of the game is presented by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal, committed to clean energy and a better quality of life for all West Virginians. And that is your player of the game, senior Dante Grantham. 20 points, 17 rebounds, a double-double, and a state title. Fred Persinger standing by with Coach Dave Rogers. Fred.
Thank you, Hop. Coach, let me ask you a quick question. First of all, 3 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. You're up by 17. You had no thoughts this game was over, did you?
No way. I'm going to tell you what, good basketball team, and that's why I guess 1 and 2 were in those positions. But a hard-fought high school basketball game and a great win for us on West Virginia's 100th year of basketball.
Give me your thoughts on a young man that had 20 points and 17 rebounds tonight. Your senior leader, without a doubt.
Dante Grantham, no question. Dante, for the last 5 or 6 ball games, has decided to take this team over. He actually just puts us on his back. I thought the kids did a great job tonight. We really were in foul trouble that first half. I had 4 starters on the bench. Our bench came through. Everybody we put in did what they were supposed to do. And the statement was made before the game that they thought Beckley's guards were a little better than ours, and I think it made ours a little uptight there a little bit, but it was a good win for our players.
Congratulations, buddy. State champion sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Thank you. That's head coach Dave Rogers of those state champions, Martinsburg Bulldogs. Hoppy, back to you.
Thank you, Fred. They won it in 1994, in 2009, and again in 2013. Dave Rogers, 36 years as a head coach, and he's got another championship, another trophy they can put up there at Martinsburg High School. For the Beckley Woodrow Wilson Flying Eagles, such a wonderful tradition, a very good team this year. At one point early on, they were 4-4. They put together an incredible run and got here to the state tournament, earned a number 2 seed, played a very tough ball game last night and defeated South Charleston, a very exciting ball game, came up against a Martinsburg team. They were down big early in the second half. Down big. They came fighting back with one of those classic Beckley runs, got it to within 3, but Martinsburg made a big steal late in the ball game, and Dante Grantham, going to be a Division I recruit. He came up huge in this ball game. 20 points and 17 rebounds to lead the Bulldogs to a state title. The final once again, Martinsburg 57, Beckley Woodrow Wilson 52 to win the AAA championship in West Virginia on this 100th anniversary. For Fred Bersinger, Dan Lohman in the truck, I'm Hoppy Kercheval. Good night, everybody.